In a quaint little town, there lived a young boy named Joe. Joe had a problem. He was always angry. Little things, like a spilled drink or a misplaced toy, would send him into a fury. His family and friends were worried, but no one knew how to help him. One rainy afternoon, feeling utterly frustrated, Joe wandered into the old church at the end of the street. "Father, I need help," Joe said, his voice trembling. "How can I stop being so angry and start appreciating my life?" Father Thomas looked at Joe with a kind but serious expression. "My son, I know something about you that you don't. You have only 7 days left to live." Joe's heart dropped. 7 days? But how? Father Thomas simply nodded. "Make the most of them, Joe. Use these 7 days wisely." Joe left the church in tears, his mind racing. 7 days. 7 days to live. Suddenly, every moment seemed precious. He decided he would make them count. From that day on, Joe changed. He approached every interaction with kindness and patience. He apologized to those he had wronged, hugged his family more often, and smiled at strangers. He spent more time playing with his little sister and helping his mother with chores. He even found himself laughing and feeling genuinely happy for the first time in a long while. As the days passed, Joe felt a warmth growing inside him. He no longer felt the heavy weight of anger. Instead, he felt light, as if a burden had been lifted from his shoulders. On the 7th day, Joe woke up with a mixture of fear and acceptance. He spent the day surrounded by loved ones, sharing stories and creating memories. As the sun set, he felt a sense of peace he had never known before. The next morning, Joe opened his eyes, surprised to find himself alive. Confused, he ran back to the church to find Father Thomas. "Father, I'm still alive. It's been 7 days. How is this possible?" Father Thomas smiled gently. "Tell me, Joe, did you struggle with your anger and frustrations last week?" Joe shook his head. "No, I chose love over anger. I realized that every moment is precious. I wanted to make good memories and not die alone." Father Thomas nodded. "You see, Joe, life is fleeting, but choosing love over anger for every moment is the greatest gift you can give yourself. It's not about how long we live, but how well we live." Joe left the church with a new understanding. His life had been transformed, not by a ticking clock, but by the simple choice to love. And from that day forward, Joe lived every day as if it were his last, cherishing each moment and spreading kindness wherever he went.